Okay, I'm back. Sorry about the video cut off the last time that I was showing this book, but here we are again. As you can see, there is a 1/4 inch or so corner crease of this book, and then this right here is a production related flaws. It's not a crease. So that's not part of the problem. And if you take a look at the rest of this book, you can see that's a production bindery tears right there, which I mentioned before. That's a production problem. It's hard to tell all the flaws when you look at the book in a slab, but as you can see, the rest of this book is super nice. Okay, and I can show you the back cover real quick, but the corners are very good, and there's really nothing major. As you can see, there's a little soft blunted corner right there, not a biggie. There's a printer crease right there, but otherwise, most of what you see is nothing major. As you can see, outside of the corner crease, this is a slight problem there on the upper spine, but really it's not a biggie. So what do you think this grade is now that you see the 1/4 inch corner crease? And as I have in my cheat sheet here, a 1/4 inch crease you see at 9.4 max. Okay, I will reveal the grade shortly, and voila, 9.4. Okay, so hopefully this little cheat sheet that I provided here and in the previous video will give you an idea of how to use creases as a guideline on how you can grade a book. Now I want to touch on a topic that also is very difficult to grade, tape pull. Before I go on and talk about how it affects the grade, here's an example. I kind of made this example for the purpose of this video. Here you have a book, okay? I have damaged 1 or 2 books in my lifetime from careless use of tape, and in the past I have no choice but try to be as careful as I can in removing this tape, and sadly I damaged the book. I pulled off some paper, and as you can see right here, the tape is on pretty tight. I'm shooting this demonstration to show you what you can and should use to remove the tape safely. I'm sure there's other means, but for me, I have seen other videos. I have seen at least 1 or 2 other videos that show this demonstration, so I'm not going to take credit to come up with this idea. But for those that haven't seen those videos, this is what I use. Every collector should buy a little bottle of this. It works great, and I will show you how it works. Okay? What I would do normally is, not that this happens often, but I have used it twice in the past 3 or 4 years successfully on removing tape. What I would do is put, it's hard to do this with one hand, put a piece of backing board between the covers and the interior, so that the liquid that I'm using is not going to touch the interior page, and isolate it just on the cover. Okay, no bleed through in case that happened. Next, I will put 1 or 2 drops of this on a Q-tip and then rub it slightly over the tape area. Unfortunately, this bottle is busted, so the best thing for me to do is, instead of pouring it all over the cover, as you can see, watch this, I crack the top of the bottle, so I don't want to have to open it for it to leak out a few drops. So that's why I had to do it this way. But I will put a few drops on the Q-tip. Okay, wet it and watch. Give it a few seconds to work in. As you can see, it's okay, right there. Give it some time. Put some more. Actually, the best thing to do, of course, is to put it right at the edge here where the tape and as you can see, just give it a few seconds. Keep working the liquid in there and gently peel back the tape. Give it time. There's no rushing this, okay? There you go, it's gone. I'm gonna put this down for a second and get myself a tissue. Okay, I'm back. The tissue, I didn't blend this very well. I should have had this tissue. Okay, so this is what you get. Okay, now this liquid is some kind of alcohol-based, liquid. So what you see right there, in the next 10 to 15 minutes, it will evaporate, and then there's no sign of any moisture damage. But be extremely careful using it, especially when you deal with Silver Age book that have any kind of browning or tanning of any sort, because what happens is when you use this liquid on books that are aged, unlike this bronze books that really have no yellow and toning, it will create a water ring, like it's as in any moisture stain, and that's what's gonna happen. But I will let this thing sit here in the next few minutes, and even if it's needed, the next video I will come back and show you what this area look like now that after it evaporate all the liquid, and you will see that it will look pretty good. But that's what you need to do. For the purpose of this video, I use a little bit more than I should because I only have one hand to work with, but normally I am very diligent in applying just a small amount of that and work it slowly with the tape. Even in the last 2 or 3 minutes as I speak, as you can see, the alcohol has evaporated, and almost gone, and it's low. It leaves almost no sign of any kind of moisture damage there. Okay, so that's how you handle a tape pull, um, or how you handle avoiding a tape pull. Now, how does tape pull affect the grades? Okay, let me show you this book. As with anything, over the past few years, I learned to grade a lot based on trying to look at examples of slabs out there, as well as submitting a few books of my own. I have this book here. As you can see, the area of tape pull is not big. It's fairly small, and sure, extremely small would be something like this. Okay, and this is still pretty small. You're talking about, gosh, a size of a grain of rice, grain of wheat. Basically, it's pretty small. You don't want to discuss the size, but as you can see, this is just a speck. And so, how does this affect the overall grade of a book? So, for this tutorial, let's take a look at this book. I cover up the grade, so we'll see if we can work through this. As you can see, there's a little rounding, soft, blunted top corner, nothing major, but there's a decent spine ticks right there, one big one right there, one right there, another one, a few more. But overall, you can see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8 as visible. Okay, when a book is in a slab, it's hard to see everything, but with a naked eye, without even a need to use a magnifier, you can see at least 8 spine ticks on this book. And then the corners very sharp, the edge very good. There's no thumbprint crease of any sort. The top is a little soft, rounded